Hey guys, how's it going? So I was cleaning my apartment just the other day and I ran across this old flip-flop. And I got to thinking that, hey, this thing floats, right? It would make a great pike popper. And that is exactly what I'm gonna do in this video. I'm gonna make a old Finnish style pike popper called the surfboard. I'm gonna start off by cutting a rectangular piece out of the foam of the flip-flop. And of course I'm gonna take the excess rubber out because I don't really have any need for that. I'm using a 6/0 Aberdeen style Kamasan hook for this fly, and I'm sort of like using this hook to mark out where I need to cut the popper head. Now that that's sorted out, I'm gonna start shaping the popper head, and I'm gonna go with sort of like a fish shape. For this sort of fly, I need to make the tail section of the popper head taper a little bit. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do now. Now that I have the rough shape, I'm gonna start rounding off the bottom part of this popper head, so that whenever I cast the fly, it's gonna ride itself much more easier. Now this next part is not really that necessary, but I decided to actually like rasp a little bit off from the shape so that it doesn't look so rough. I don't think the fish really care, but I'm a little bit kind of like OCD when it comes to this sort of stuff, so I decided to, round off the head a little bit more. And while I was at it, I decided to add a sort of like a cup section to the mouth part of the popper head. Okay, finally we can start tying the fly itself, and I'm gonna add a base of thread first on the hook shank, so that all of the materials I'm going to be adding here is gonna have some place to grip a little bit easier. The first material I'm going to be using is going to be Magnum Flashabou, and I'm going to use maybe 6 to 8 strands. You don't really need that much for this sort of fly. I'm gonna snip that. Like so. And then I'm gonna fold it in half and then cut it. And then I'm going to pull out some of the strands so that I get this tapered effect here. I tie 1/3 of the Flashabou into the hook shank now, and then I'm going to just fold it back. Doing it this way, I make sure that all of the Flashabou strands won't come loose when I cast the fly, and the only way possible for them to come loose is when a pike hits this thing. The majority of the fly is going to be consisted out of saltwater blend angel hair from Subai in silver pearl color. And I'm pretty much going to do it the same thing that I did with the Magnum Flashabou. I'm going to reverse tie it. With this first bunch, I'm going to use the whole length of the flash material, but then later on I will cut it in half and make sure that I get this cool kind of like a tapered effect on the fly itself. And actually, you really don't need that much flash in the mid part of the fly. Now that I got the wing part of the fly pretty much done now, I'm gonna add the flip-flop foam head into the fly. Before finishing the first tie with super glue, I'm gonna attach the popper head into the fly. I'm gonna start tying the body of the fly now, and I'm gonna use the same saltwater blend angel hair in silver pearl that I used before, but like I said, I'm gonna fold it in half and I'm gonna snip it in half and then pull a little bit of the strands so that I get this tapered look to the fly. And again, I'm going to add 1/3 of the flash material onto the hook shank and reverse tie it. I'm not sure how well you're gonna be able to see this, but I'm manipulating the bunch of flash with my thumb, and I'm trying to make the bunch of flash sort of like lie flat on the hook. And then also, I want to have this reverse tie to have more of a bulky look, so I'm actually not tying on top of the flash, rather I'm tying in front of it. gonna start adding some color to the fly and going for sort of like a bait fish color for this one. And I'm using the same saltwater blend angel hair, but instead this is gonna be more of a bluish purpley color. And yeah, pretty much gonna use the same technique. Maybe the length of the Flashabou is not gonna be as long, as it's not really needed, really. I'm gonna add a little bit of red on the throat of the fly, and well, not really sure how necessary this is, but I mean, at least it's a confidence boost if nothing else, and makes the fly look more pretty. So since this is going to be mainly a pike fly, and they can be rather rough with your flies and lures and whatever, I decided to add a little bit of hot glue and make sure that the popper head stays where it should. I'm gonna mangle my fly a little bit now, and I'm actually gonna use the strength of my tying thread, which is Vivus GSP 100D, to make a small indentation on the foam. I'm gonna cut sort of like a V notch on the head now, so that I can fold the head part backwards a little bit and glue it on. Now that the notch looks good enough, I'm going to basically wrap the hell out of this thing and try to make sure that the popper head doesn't come off. I'm gonna add a little bit of super glue on the notch that I made earlier, and then basically fold it back and keep it there for a little while, and give time for the glue to cure. No fly is completed without an eye, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do now. Since there's a lot of room under the eye, I figured it would be a good idea to fill it with hot glue, just to make sure that the eye doesn't come off. I wasn't really happy with the cup head, so I decided to widen it a little bit more and make it a little bit bigger. Before my surfboard's maiden voyage, I decided to snip a little bit off and make the profile a little bit more fish-like. Oh, that's a nice looking knot. See. Ooh. Oh man, I had it on for like 2 seconds. Wasn't ready for that, that's for sure. Oh well, that usually happens when you least expect it anyways. Oh man, well, it wasn't big, but still, it was a fish. There we go. Fish on. Oh man, lost it. Wasn't a very big fish, but fish nevertheless. Damn it. Like always, just wasn't ready. Well, at least it's fun trying to catch these things, even if I'm not hooking them. There's a lot of perches, like really, really small ones. Trying to catch the fly. Ooh, such a good cast. Let's see if the pike is still there and willing to bite. I don't think so, but you never know. Nope, I don't think so. After that last pike hit, I spent probably 3 hours in the water and tried to get another pike hit, but they just weren't having it. And I didn't even see anything else after that. I even tried different flies. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.